Winning Cures Everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in, Winning Cures Everything. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. We're a little later than usual, but that is all right. It is Wednesday, November the 11th. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And let's go ahead and get this thing out of the way right quick. You know what? I'm going to wait until everybody jumps in. I'm going to wait until everybody jumps in because I've got a surprise. And
Okay.
Chris, I hadn't even told you about this, but
All right.
I got a surprise. And it's over on the website.
I don't normally like surprises, but okay.
No, I think you'll appreciate this one. It's going to
Okay.
be all right. We got a lot going on today. We got Masters picks. We got NFL previews and picks and all that good stuff. We're going to talk about the whole slate for this weekend, and we got some discussions to get through regarding the COVID issues going on in the SEC. Terry jumps in already. He said, "What's up? What is up, my brother?" Hopefully all of you, again, are having good Wednesdays. Good gracious sakes alive in the morning. It has been a crazy week with all the different things going on. Go ahead and tell you guys, go check out winningcureseverything.com. All of our picks, previews, podcasts, videos, social media platforms, etc. are up over there. You can figure out where you need to be subscribed over there. And that's the easy way of saying it. The live show, of course, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. And we do podcast exclusives on Sundays and Thursdays talking about college football. Make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast. Any of your favorite podcast apps, we are on. Terry said it's a surprise you quit drinking White Claw. I never drank White Claw. Today, it is Evan Williams. So, there you go. McKinnon said, "What's good, gents?" Hey, there you go. Lots to discuss. So, make sure you are subscribed where you need to be subscribed. We had our Monday and Tuesday shows over at sportsbookreview.com. Go and make sure that you are subscribed on their YouTube page. That is SBR Sports Picks is what you need to check out on YouTube. Very easy to do. So, yes, things are going well with Sportsbook Review. Things are going well with us. We are headed in the right direction towards breaking another record for podcast downloads this week. Please leave a 5-star written review over on the Apple Podcasts. We would certainly appreciate that. Go ahead and let you guys know the Murder Hornet t-shirts are available in the web store. We got them put in. I will remind everybody again before we get into the NFL picks, but the Murder Hornet t-shirts are up, along with some of our new logo shirts. So got some of those put up on there. You can get it on hoodies and whatever else. So go to the website, winningcureseverything.com, click on the store tab. We got it posted. I finally got it done. You're welcome. So we will remind everybody that jumps in later on. But yeah, I spent a little while on that last night. Hopefully everybody appreciates all of my sweat and blood that I put into this. Chris, whenever you get a chance to go check it out,
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, what do you think?
I like it. I like it.
Looks all right?
I like it. Yeah, no, good job by you, kid.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So we got the shirts put up. We got the Murder Hornet shirt. We got the new logo shirt. I've got a couple of other ones that I'm working on that should be up later on, and those should be nice as well. So hopefully you guys will go and check them out. And if you like it, buy it and share it out and tell your friends about it, all that good stuff. Do the same thing with the show. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button and that you are subscribed and that you leave some comments and all that good stuff. Capwise jumps in, Raiders, Broncos under. Thank us later. Hey, if you guys aren't following Capwise on Twitter, just go do yourself that favor. Good guys. They're on Twitch as well. They've got a show. Good dudes. Really good dudes. So, yeah. Let's dive into the first topic of the day. And that would be that Georgia and Missouri is canceled. So now we have 2 SEC games. Is that right? No, 3. We're down to 3. We canceled 4. We're down to 3. So we have not talked on here. Terry said now we need a "We're Risking Our Lives" shirt. Let me write that down. I'm going to go. we will certainly do that. So Georgia and Missouri, I know that you were all over Missouri in this game, right?
I was.
It was revealed that it was one COVID test, like one positive test for Missouri. And then it's the contact tracing that is keeping everybody out of this game. Are we getting a little too crazy with this contact tracing stuff? Like,
Yes.
Am I losing my mind here?
No. So here's the problem. There is a section of people that screamed and hollered at the Neanderthals. I'll put myself in that category early on, that said you have to follow the science. Okay. And now the science is telling us this thing is not that bad for college students. It's not that bad for young people. The science is telling us that
it is not transmitted during the field of play or in the field of play.
Or like even being around somebody for a bit, like the contract tracing stuff has proven that that's really not how people are getting it. Like you have to be around somebody a lot and pretty close to them quite a bit. It is very contagious, but it's kind of weird how it's contagious. And therefore I just feel like now I want to scream to those people, why aren't you following the science? Why are you making this all overkill? This is what I wanted to scream to the Big Ten when they came up with a 21-day punishment.
Why are we still doing the same thing in August?
Not the same thing. At no point in time in the entire history of COVID did anybody say 21 days.
No. I'm not even worried about the Big Ten. I'm talking about like SEC right now.
I am. I want to tell those sons of bitches to stop. Follow the science, you bastards.
I understand. I know where you're coming from.
They're supposed to be the educated ones. They're supposed to be the ones that care about academia. They're supposed to be smarter than us dumbasses down south.
But you already know. You already know what their whole thing was about.
Hey, the election's over.
But this was the punishment for the players because they
I know that
dared.
It was punitive.
Yes.
It's punitive.
So
I
get
dared
that.
to challenge God.
What I'm curious about is the SEC, who has been willing to stand out on that branch this entire time, right? Like they have been willing to do this, and I don't understand why. Like players can come back if they have a certain number of negative tests within 10 days if they test positive. So why is it 14 days if you have contact tracing?
But never a positive test.
This doesn't make, and I understand like the incubation period. I get all of that.
Not following the science, Gary.
But if you get more data from August through now, I mean, we're in November. Things are different now. And I understand there's a spike in cases around the country. I get all that. Like I understand what's going on. Hey, surprise, we get into cold and flu season. All of a sudden you got a rise in cases. Surprise. Right, but here's the thing. It does not transmit on the field of play. We haven't had a single instance of it. So that, in and of itself, is a major step forward. And the other major step forward is these guys, like, they almost never, and when I say almost, I'm talking like 99.9999999% never test positive in these situations where they've had contact tracing. Like, I just don't understand. So, look, I know that I'm biased. I understand that. I want to see football. But I think that it's a little bit overkill here.
I think it's been overkill for a while. I do. This is why I don't like hard and fast rules about things, because in order to maintain consistency, we also lock ourselves in a closet and we give ourselves no flexibility at all because, well, we had this rule for this team back then, so we can't change it now, even though we know all the data has changed. I'm basically going to say this. I might be proven wrong here. Somebody can probably give me an example where I'm wrong, because it just sounds like something a dumbass would say. But I don't know that any good has ever come from anybody making a rule with the sole purpose of safety. I think everybody in our country uses safety to gain power and control over others. And they do it under the cloak of safety because they're afraid nobody will challenge that, because nobody wants to live in a less safe world.
Well, I mean, it's the 9/11
I can't think of
right?
a single example like where safety wasn't used for the sole purpose at the end of the day of just gaining more power and control or money.
It's so think about 9/11, the Department of Homeland Defense, and
that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
What's the it's not TSA. What am I thinking? NSA. Yes. That all of these things that
they're
were put in place.
Now. Why? Because of the Patriot Act. And then we call it something like the Patriot Act because nobody could be against that.
Exactly. I mean, it's crazy. So but it's all in the name of safety. And I get it, but it's also you start giving in a little bit, and then either way, we're getting a little political here. It's just kind of It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy to look at it. So that is 4 SEC games out of 7 that have been postponed.
I'm glad we've gotten college football. I've enjoyed it, and I really appreciate that we have it. I feel like the grown-ups in the room are ruining it.
Yep. James Dreyfus.
Not the kids.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the adults. James Dreyfus said Florida versus Arkansas is happening. Yes, it is. We've also got
we still got a lot of time to go for somebody to cock it up.
Well, so interesting quote from Lane Kiffin today. Terry said, "We're giving away our personal freedoms for the illusion of safety." George Carlin said this years ago. Yeah. It's true. Lane Kiffin
Carlin's a hero.
Said today, and I found this to be remarkably, maybe I'm saying it wrong. I can't remember. Either way, Lane Kiffin's quote to the Rebel Walk today, he was asked if the Rebels are near the COVID threshold to not play. He said, "I haven't looked at numbers that way. I want to play. I think it's more if you don't want to play that you look at the numbers. We're excited to play." Like, it makes me question some things. Like, and I don't believe that Texas A&M did not want to go to Tennessee and play, but they've only got 2 COVID positive kids.
That's right.
And I understand
we're gonna lock 35 of them up in a closet for the next 14 days, though.
I just don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't either. It doesn't make sense. We're doing the thing that we screamed at people to do all the time. We're not following the science.
We're safer this way, right?
That's right. Oh no, it's safer. It's safer. If we all just lock ourselves in closets, we'd be real safe.
Yes, you're right. Terry said, "Damn, White Claw got you tongue tied." Yeah, it might be this. It might be Evan Williams. It might be that. Either way. KCK said it's really unfair, too, because if some of these teams go undefeated and they only play 6 or 7 games, are they going to get in? These kids opt in and risk their health to make them more money. It should be an 18 playoff. Yes, I'm all in on 16 teams.
I think Ohio State is undoubtedly a top 3 team in the country, if not a top 2 team, if not the best team in the country.
Yeah.
But at some point in time, if they only get in 6 or 7 games and everybody else has played 10 or 11, we're going to have a conversation about what's in the best interest of right and what's in the best interest of fair. Because those two things aren't always the same thing.
You're completely forgetting there's 3 things here. There's right, and there's fair, and there's TV dollars. And it's all about TV. We've talked about this over the years.
TV dollars, Ohio State could lose 2 games and only play 6 and still get in.
Yep. You're 100% right. So we'll see what happens. Casey said, yeah, Lane made it sound like these teams just don't want to play, and that if teams don't want to miss a game, they can just ignore the numbers or list a player as an injury instead of sick. Yeah, that's kind of like, it depends on how you want to go with this thing. And it's basically Lane admitting, look, if we have the number of kids to be able to play, then we are going to play. But if we want to make it sound like, we're not going to be able to go out and maybe we don't have as good a chance to win, like when you start worrying about wins and losses, then it becomes an issue. Yep. Because without this position group or without these guys, like we might not be able to succeed this weekend. Might be better not play.
I'm gonna address that because this goes into a little bit of something I actually believe is going to happen. Let's say this: I would do it if it was me. Okay, so I can only speak for how I would handle things that are extremely unethical. If Ohio State has to miss another game, one more game, because of COVID issues, whether it's their team or another team, I 100% guarantee you that by the time the Michigan game comes up, Michigan ain't playing that game. Michigan's coming down with the COVID. They are keeping Ohio State out of playing for the Big Ten title game.
And if they don't get to play for the Big Ten title,
there's no possible way on earth you can put them in the championship. You just can't. Unless they expand it from 4, you just can't do it. Because the winner of that title game is going to only have 1 loss probably.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Our buddy Donnie that hosts the SBR NFL show.
Yes, sir.
He posted out today. He was like, look, I don't care if every game from now until the playoffs gets canceled, just so long as we have Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, and Notre Dame in the playoff. And I responded to him and said, yo, you're looking at the wrong playoff. I said, I want the winner of Coastal and Liberty. I want BYU, Cincinnati, and Marshall.
Yeah.
That's my 14 playoff.
Give me 8 teams and let those 4 guys jump in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me throw those 4 guys in the pool.
I'd love that.
Because I'm telling you this, I really honestly believe one of those 4 makes an upset.
Oh, I think so too.
I might be wrong on that because the elites are always better than the small kids. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'd take my chances with the small kids.
I like your line of thinking here.
I got 1 of 4. I 1 of 4 is hitting.
I could
Money
get down
line.
with it. I could get down with it. Let's move off of this. Let's go on and discuss the Masters because it is happening this weekend. It is November. This typically happens in April. It's the blooming of all the flowers, and it's beautiful, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, there's not going to be any fans present, and you're going to get to see this course in a whole different light.
I'll tell you this.
It's crazy.
Those trees in the fall, they do look beautiful, though.
Oh, yeah, they certainly do.
The leaves are falling, and it's almost like an artist is putting them down where they want them.
It's A. Casey said they should just reschedule and not cancel these games. It's not fair. Got to move that December 20th deadline and have some flexibility. It's not fair to the kids. I don't care about fair to the kids or any of that. Like, getting to play is what it is. I'm fine with that.
The part of getting to play and flexibility, that's on these conferences that pushed the shit so far back they gave themselves no flexibilities.
Agreed.
That's shame on the Pac-12. That's shame on the Big Ten, and it's shame on the SEC. The SEC waited 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep, September 26th.
Okay, so let's not act like they didn't piss away a whole lot of flexibility. Also,
right? Like Alabama's
shame
already got
on
6 games in. Like Florida's
shame on them for pissing away their flexibility.
Yeah, Florida's already got 5 games in. Alabama's got 6 games in. You know, like
it's a hell of a lot better than the Big Ten.
Yeah,
and the
we're doing
Pac-12,
well.
but they still have no flexibility now. Now that everybody's bye week is done, we got to get through 4 more games, and nobody has any flexibility. Oh yeah, we're running up to cold and flu season as well.
Yeah.
So we don't know how that shit's gonna mix with the COVID.
You got that right. Zamora 6090 said we in here. That's what I'm talking about. Let's dive into these Masters picks. I have got 3 that I'm wagering on, and I have already placed these bets. I don't know what the odds are right now, but this is what I did earlier this afternoon. I got 3 guys. Have you got 3?
Well, hey, I thought we were going to draft 3.
Oh,
you can't take my guy.
Well, okay, that's cool. We can do that. We can.
You
totally
better have more than 3, because I bet I'll take some of yours.
You might.
You want first pick or you want second? Because second pick gets 2 picks in a row. I'll let you have your choice.
Oh, we're gonna snake draft it. Okay.
We got a fair draft it. You can't take the first pick in every round.
You did say
you get your number 1 guy.
you did say draft, didn't you?
Okay. Draft.
Okay. I'll go first.
Go ahead first.
And we'll see. I'll
there's only one guy I really want, and if you take him, I'm coming to your house when this is over. I'm whooping your ass. There's only one guy I want.
Well, I'm taking Justin Thomas.
Okay, we're fine then.
Okay, Justin Thomas plus 1,100 to win. He's plus 125 to finish in the top 10.
At Bet Online, you can get him at plus 1,200. So
okay, well that's plus 1,200 works for me. So when I got him earlier,
my number 1 guy that I wanted was John Rahm. He is my second favorite golfer right now, currently playing.
He wasn't on my list.
Oh, well, okay, that's good. Justin Thomas wasn't on my list.
I thought Rahm was a little overvalued because of the hole in one.
No, he's got 2 of them, but also he's also has, I think, 2 of his last 4 rounds of last year's Masters. He finished minus 10. So I think this guy could go low, real low.
Here's my issue with
playing unbelievable. I love John Rahm. I've loved him since he was an amateur coming in this game. Him and Ricky Fowler, my 2 favorite golfers to watch. It ain't close.
Here's my only issue with that. Okay. I think that the Masters course will play differently in the fall than it will in April. I think it's going to be a little different. So
okay, we agree on that, but I'll wait till we're done with this draft to tell you why I think my guys are better than your guys. Then I get one more pick.
You don't even know you don't even know who my guys are yet.
Well, I know who 2 of mine are, so it don't matter.
Okay,
so I'm going to get my top 2 guys.
Okay.
For that very reason, my logic. Give me the boy everybody loves to hate. Give me Bryson. Right now, I heard Steve Sands on Tony Kornheiser's show, my favorite podcast to listen to. If you need a podcast to listen to that just talks all kinds of random stuff, I love the Tony Kornheiser show. If I could do a show, that's the show I want to do. He said that there are Augusta members right now that are openly worried about Bryson destroying this course because this course is not a course that normally the long ball gets you, but the problem is because of the rain, and the time of year, this is the softest the Masters has ever been.
Yeah.
And that makes it susceptible to guys just bombing it to it. And there are members of Augusta right now worried about Bryson embarrassing this course.
Corey jumps in. He said, "What's happening, everybody? We're going through Masters picks." So we're
you
drafting.
You get 2 picks.
Bryson was not one of my picks.
All right, we're good then.
My second pick here, I'm going to take Brooks.
Okay.
Brooks
That works out perfect.
Yep.
It works out just perfect.
I'm looking at him at plus 1,600.
Okay.
What do you see Bet Online? Do you have that in?
I don't have it up.
Okay.
I wrote down a bunch of guys, but he wasn't a guy I wrote down.
All right. So plus 1,600. Koepka always plays well in majors. Always. And I think it's just he gets himself up for these, especially in ones that Bryson is the favorite in, right? So
That's right.
I think this is one of those where he will show up. He's plus 150 to finish in the top 10. I've already bet both of those. And my third pick here, and hopefully I say it correctly every time I think I'm saying it right. I don't. Xander Schauffele. Schauffele?
No, it's Schauffele. Xander Schauffele. So Xander was going to be my third pick. So that's a really good pick. It's the only one I like of yours.
There you go. So plus 1,400 to win, plus 135 to finish top 10. He has been on a tear here lately.
I agree. I like Xander. I like he was going to be my third pick. So now I've got a coin flip between 2 other guys. I could go chalk and take Rory, or I could take Tony.
I'd probably go Tony. I think you got better.
Tony. Yeah. I'll take Tony Finau. I love Tony Finau's game. This dude, and I like the young guys. I really do.
Tony Finau, let's see, where is he?
He's 2,800 plus 2,800. He's great odds.
Has he dropped out? What is happening here?
No, he's not dropped out. He was 2,800 like 2 hours ago. He's still 2,800. I just pulled it up.
I don't see him at. So I'm looking over at my bookie just because I think it's.
I'm on Bet Online, and he's literally.
Oh, there we
right
go.
Under
okay.
Finau, and no, sorry,
yeah.
nope.
I'm seeing him at plus 2,500. So but
okay.
yeah. They have him listed like down below Webb Simpson and Colin Morikawa, and that's somebody to take a flyer on at plus 3,300 because he's been awesome.
So Wolf and Morikawa are 2 that I love, but the winner of the Masters is never somebody that played it for the first time.
Yeah.
And this will be both of those guys' first Masters. Now, this course takes experience to beat. I believe that. Now, I love those guys. Love those guys. But this course is going to take guys who are used to playing it, who know it really well. And that's the only reason I stayed off of both of them.
Makes sense.
Because they are both on my list of golfers that I bet on religiously, and I watch a lot.
Oh, that makes sense.
Love them.
So my 3: Justin Thomas, Brooks Koepka, and Xander, Xander Schauffele. So your 3: John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Tony Finau.
So you have 2 guys so I've got a buddy of mine that does a golf podcast. It's called Around the Pin. They're good dudes. And I text Scott and I said, these are the guys that I want. And I texted him a group of names that I thought you would take. And I said, what do you think? And his number 1 pick would be Justin Thomas, which I told him that's not going to be mine. Mine's going to be Rahm. And then he also is a Xander guy as well. So, which I love Xander. So.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I am the same way. So, all right, well, we will see what happens. It tips off or tees off first thing tomorrow morning. So, it's so great. There's tees off and tips off and kicks off and all that kind of. It's just a mess. College basketball, college football, NBA, golf, whatever. So, I think we're ready for NFL.
Let's go.
Let's do this thing. All right, NFL Week 10. We are going through the previews and our spread picks for the biggest games. We're going to try and kind of fly through a little bit. But, obviously some of these we're going to rant a little longer than others. The Colts at the Titans are the Thursday night football game. And, the Colts obviously did not look great last week against the Ravens. And that was a bit of a depleted Ravens defense. I tend to think that now years and years have gone by, and the Colts have had the Titans number forever. But a lot of things have shifted since then. I think I like the Titans here. It's a pick 'em, but it was -2.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
it's -2 right now.
It was -2 earlier. Did it go back up again? No, I'm looking at it right now. And
dude, I looked at this thing at 3:45.
Yeah, and it's gone down that much since.
Did the Titans lose somebody?
I mean, I have not seen any news about it, but okay. Hey, you know what?
This was a gambling pick of mine of Tennessee -2. I'll take Tennessee at the pick.
Yeah, it's strange, and I don't know what's happened, but I haven't seen any news come out about it. So
I'm with you on this. This Colts team is not the same. And Phillip Rivers is nothing to be afraid of. Just nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah,
he just hasn't been good. He's not anybody that scares me at all. He hasn't been good. I don't trust him to win a game if it's close. I think he's more likely to turn it over than win it. I don't think he's a guy you have to pressure to beat, which is nice because the Titans can't pressure anyone. And yeah, I kind of like the Titans here. Historically, this is why I don't like trends. Historically, the Colts have owned and dominated the Titans.
Yep.
I think Vrabel has this team believing and seeing different. He's just a different kind of coach, a different kind of guy. I think the Colts are a quarterback away from being scary good, and this could be one of the greatest what ifs if they could have this roster that they have built and developed over time with Andrew Luck.
Oh yes, I agree. Yeah, they were building this.
We might be looking back and saying, Patrick Mahomes might not have a Super Bowl, and this could be the team that everyone thinks is the dynasty coming up.
Zamora jumped in and said Hilton is playing, and maybe that's why the line is moving. I
guarantee you, Hilton's probably worth 2 points. I don't know, man. It still doesn't scare me. The Titans' defense isn't anything to be afraid of, but the Colts offensively just don't look great. If they can't run the ball, they can't win.
Yeah.
Hilton's going to have a hell of a game.
Casey said he's going Colts. So, hey, cheers to it. Hey, look, It's a pick 'em for a reason.
No, so, we could definitely be wrong on this. But
Antoine Johnson jumped in. He said, I'm late, just got off work. What are y'all thinking about the college games today? No picks on these. We're still waiting to kind of feel some of these teams out. Last night was a perfect indicator that week 1 didn't really show us much of anything. We all thought Miami of Ohio would at least be able to play with Buffalo, and that was a disaster.
There's a reason I have a 2-week moratorium on all these teams that are coming in late to the party.
Yeah,
I just don't know who any of them are, and I can't make a pick or play with 1 game sample size.
If I had to bet on a game tonight, if I had to pick one, I would lean Eastern Michigan if it's more than a touchdown. I've
had a ton of people reach out to me today asking about Northern Illinois. And I tell them all the same thing. Gary hates them. I like them more than him, but I have no opinion right now because I need more than 1 game sample size.
They were so inept last year. They were so bad. That coach was so bad last year. But who knows? Maybe year 2 is the right spot for him. But they didn't look good against Buffalo. They had 4 turnovers in that first game, and I know you can't count on turnovers every game.
But we don't know that.
Yeah,
who knows? What if you can? What if they're a team like TCU the last couple of years and they just turn the ball over 4 times a game?
It's possible.
1 game sample size, you say, oh, well, you can't count on turnovers. Bullshit. Maybe you can. Maybe by the time the end of the season happens, we look back at Northern Illinois and say, oh, yeah, they turn the ball over all the time.
That's a very good point. It's a very good point.
But you can't tell after 1 game.
Are we both taking the Titans?
I guess we are. This is a gambling pick of mine.
Okay. Eagles at the Panthers on Sunday.
Nope.
No.
Nope, and nope.
What did I write down?
It's Eagles at the Giants, sir.
Who's playing at the Panthers?
The Bucks.
That's the one I meant to write down. I just wrote it down wrong. Good gracious. All right. So that's I'm not worried about the Eagles game.
Okay.
Keep that out of here. Well, I don't need to talk about the NFC East anymore.
Bucks at the Panthers then.
Bucks at the Panthers. Panthers 5-point underdog at home. The line opened at 7. It's moved down 2 points.
It has.
Is this what world am I living in? Why are people so quick to jump off this Bucks bandwagon? I understand they look bad last week.
It's just that's it. We live in a world where we believe what we saw 5 minutes ago, and everything else we've seen up to that 5 minutes is garbage and didn't happen. It was too long ago in the past. It is our micro machine brains that is just constantly flooded with new information, and if that information came through 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, it's obsolete. It might as well not have happened. People forget that game where the Bucs beat the hell out of the Packers, who might be the best team in the NFC. And they might be the best team in the NFC by a lot. Okay?
Yeah.
And they beat the hell out of them. We forget all about it because they just had that same curb stomping happen to them.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
I don't get it. I think this is ultimate bounce back. Tom Brady is not going to get beat up like this. The entire team fell apart last week. The entire team. I think this week they are going to look much, much better. And there's a really good chance the best player for the Panthers isn't going to play. I don't think McCaffrey's going to make it.
Oh, he's not. It's already been announced.
Is he already officially out?
He's officially out.
I thought he was questionable.
Yep.
To beat this Bucs team, you have to pressure them up the middle. I don't know if the Panthers have the dudes to do that.
I don't think they do. I'm all over the Bucs here. I think this is the perfect bounce back spot. It's a divisional game and it's on the road, and I get that, but I do think this Bucs team is just a significantly better team.
On the road doesn't matter. How many times I've been trying to tell you this?
I know.
Right now, currently, as we stand, road teams have a better record straight up than they're over 500 than home teams. Straight up, just winning football games. Yeah. Not against the spread, not against nothing. Home field advantage means nothing, sir.
Oh, yeah.
I've been telling it to you for 10 weeks. You got to listen.
I know. Hey, did you see what Alonzo wrote on YouTube?
No, what's up?
What's up, Suge Knight and Gary?
Hey, man, I'm not in the hole. They don't let you have nice pictures like this in the hole, do they?
Zamora said he likes the Chargers, Bucks, Cincinnati, and the Ravens. He said Giants have been playing pretty well. And then Casey said Bucks and the Eagles. So, and then Zamora asked, do we ever do money line advice? We will tell you if we think a team has a chance to win the game when we do our official picks.
I'm going to tell you this. If I play a dog, I also play the money line.
Yep.
I'm just going to tell you, too many dogs win straight up. They just do.
Yep, you are correct about that. So, so moving on to the next game, Broncos at the Raiders. Broncos have become a fourth quarter team for whatever reason. Now, it might just be because they are down by so much, but Casey said Eagles is a must win. I'm not talking about the NFC East anymore. I'm done. I'm done with that division.
Attaboy.
I'm done with it.
Not going to fight you on that at all.
No, we're not talking about them anymore. So, Broncos and the Raiders, though, we will talk about that because I think the Raiders are a pretty damn good football team.
They are a good football team.
I think I'm going to roll with the Raiders -5 here because I think the Broncos have really pushed themselves hard the last 2 weeks, especially in that fourth quarter to try and get back into ball games. I think it takes a little bit out of you. This seems like the kind of spot, even in a divisional game, where the Raiders can get up and still keep their foot on the neck. I like the Raiders here. So
not a gambling pick of mine, but if I have to pick it, I would take the Broncos just because they seem to play field goal games. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I do think the Raiders are that much better than them. It's a divisional game. They play everybody close. I just think I would take the points if I had to. I don't like it strong enough to really make a decision one way or the other. I think this Raiders team is really good. I think the Broncos team is kind of fraudulent. I just can't. I was skeptical of Drew Lock before the season started. I am more than skeptical now. I just don't believe in this guy.
He is Blake Bortles to a T. Where they get down and
don't give me your garbage time stats. All right. Yeah. Don't give me stats when you're down by 3 scores. Okay. Give me stats when the game is 0-0. How the hell are you doing? All right. When the game is tied 14-14, how the hell are you doing?
That's what I want to know.
I don't care. I don't care when you're down by 3 scores, how the hell you do, because the defenses play totally different.
You are correct. Chargers at the Dolphins. Dolphins a 2.5-point favorite. Line seemed a little short to me. I'm obviously going to roll Dolphins here. I thought last week was their week to get got. Tua looked really damn good. This is a good game to see. You've got your Tua against Justin Herbert, who's the better quarterback, who's whatever. Did you see the Herbert stat for passes downfield? 20 yards in the air. He is unbelievable, man. He's had 9 completions this year, and it's more than any other. Is it any other rookie or just anybody else? Period. By 7 passes. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
I'm trying to figure out, is Joey Bosa going to play or not? Because that's going to determine a lot. If he's going to be one of the guys out, I definitely like the Dolphins. If he's not out and he plays, I might take the Chargers here, just because I wonder how much of the Dolphins are going, damn, man, I just closed out the wrong window. I got too much stuff open. What's that line? What's the Broncos line?
The Broncos
Chargers line.
Chargers line is 2.5.
Yeah. So I wonder how well the Miami Dolphins are going to play being a favorite.
Yeah.
Because they've kind of been the ultimate underdog to bet on and play. And I just wonder, how are they going to handle, being the team that's supposed to win now? I think there's a little bit of that. If Bosa plays, I definitely like the Chargers. I heard a really good sports writers sometimes are very lazy. They give very boring, bland picks, things that we all see and we all believe and we all have watched and think. Today, I heard a sports writer make an analogy to Herbert saying, he looks good. He looks really good. But the problem is this isn't baseball, okay? You can't win the Cy Young having a 1.3 ERA, but, going 10-9 in your win-loss record. In the NFL and football, wins matter more than stats. They just do. And Herbert is your ultimate, cybernet analytic baseball stat guy. His numbers look unbelievable. He looks outstanding. Now, he's not the reason they're losing games, but at some point in time, you got to look at him and say, man, this team is too talented to lose ball games the way y'all are losing them.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to figure something else out. It's really hard when you're looking at Tua and Burrow and Herbert, and how are we judging these three quarterbacks that are the three big rookies coming into this league this year? Because they're all on three completely different teams. Tua's on a team that it has a absolute defensive monster juggernaut. Okay. Defensively, they're the best coach team of the three, and it ain't close. They have the best defense, and it ain't close. And they probably have the best offensive line, and it ain't close. Okay. Burrow has the worst of everything.
Well, I think Burrow's got I think he's got the best receiving core. I really do.
No,
I think he does.
Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry. No, that's just wrong.
Okay,
that's wrong.
You can
that's
say
flat
that,
out
but
wrong.
I just don't know how often those guys are all together. And
No, but they're all together all the time. This whole year, they haven't missed at all. So that's fine. No. We disagree there. AJ Green ain't close to what he used to be. All right, Boyd is good. Higgins is good, but he's a rookie. That's the list of what he's got that he can depend on and lean on. No.
Okay.
Herbert's got the best talent around him, and it ain't close from a skills players. Got the worst line, not the worst line, the second worst line. It's just trying to figure out, how do you judge these teams?
Yeah.
How do you judge these individuals who are playing on different style teams? I kind of think the Chargers had a fighting chance to be in the playoff race, considering 7, maybe 8 teams are going to make the playoffs. And they're not close. They're not done. They're done. They're out of this thing. They've lost way too many games already. They can't even be considered. And it's just, how much of this is on him? How much of this is, if he was really a good quarterback, could he have pulled some of these big wins out?
That's the question. Now, a lot of it's been on the defense.
Agreed.
But at the same time, at some point, you got to be able to put up enough points.
When you got a 17-point lead on somebody with 4 minutes left to go, if you get a couple of first downs, it's the ball game. So it's not just on the defense who shit that lead away. A lot of it's on you if you could have got some first downs. Now I know, because you got the lead, coaches might be running the ball more, so they're taking it out of your hands. It's not on you. It's a conversation I think worth having, because I like the kid. I think he's really good. I'm trying to remove the fantasy football aspect. How good are you? Because this team is not bad.
Agreed.
And y'all are not winning games. And I think with that kind of talent, y'all should be winning games.
Joey Bosa, by the way, did not practice at all last week after suffering a concussion. Didn't play against the Raiders.
Last week he didn't play.
But he's moving towards a return to the Chargers lineup in Week 10. Chargers
I know
head coach
right now what I've seen is he's got limited practice.
Anthony Lynn
that's
said
part of their protocol of getting them back from concussion.
Lynn said today that Bosa will take part in individual work as the team begins on-field preparations to face the Dolphins. He remains in the concussion protocol, but will progress towards clearance if the return to work doesn't result in any complications.
Good.
So that's what we're looking at right now.
If he plays, I kind of like the Chargers. I really do. I think at some point in time they're going to win one of these close games, and Tua's going to have to get the ball out of his hands quick, because if Bosa's a monster. If Ingram's playing, Ingram's a monster. I mean, those are the two best edge rushers in the game playing on one team.
No, yeah, I think you're right about that. The team that the Dolphins played last week, the Cardinals, a 2-point home favorite over the Bills. Bills got a massive, massive win over the Seahawks last week. I think they'll be able to do the same thing against the Cardinals that they did against the Seahawks last week. I do too, Gary. I think this Bills team is really, really damn good. And Stephon Diggs, even if he's not like your leading stat guy, he is still a difference maker in that people have to worry about him at all times. Yep. So I'm rolling Bills here. I'm so off of that Cardinals team after last week, and I know that it was a close game, and I get it. But man, like I think there are ways to beat the Cardinals, and I think the Bills have every one of them at their disposal.
Yeah, I do too. I think this has potential to be the most exciting game of the weekend. I think this is going to be the best game of the weekend, and it ain't close.
Isn't it? Is it not weird that the Bills were like we love the Bills because of their defense for so long, and it ain't been defense this year.
No, it's strange. It's just real strange. But I think this is going to be an exciting, high-scoring game.
I agree. This is what is the over in this game? Do you know?
Yep. Hang on. I got it pulled up right now. 56 and a half across the board.
I would go over that.
Yeah, I would too.
I mean, I would certainly go
this
over
line, that. This spread line is all over the place. You can get it from 2.5 to 2 to 1.
Yeah.
If you shop it, depending on how you like it, I mean, you can get 1.5 points. And this ain't college football, man. 1.5 points is a big deal in the NFL.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now I put it for 2 for our thing, but
that's fine.
I just think the Bills win. I think they win outright.
I think they can. I think the team here's the problem. Team with the ball last is going to win this game.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Moving on from there, let's stay in the NFC West. We got the Seahawks going to the Rams, and the Rams are a 1.5-point favorite. I think this is a bounce back spot. This is a bounce back city for Russell Wilson in that bunch. I mean, he has not looked good for a couple of weeks now. And it's not that he hadn't looked good. Like he's had some turnovers. The defense obviously has not looked great. I think this is just a really good spot for them to go and get a W. Like, I know that the Rams have played well. I get all that, but I don't care. I think this is one of those where the Seahawks feel like this is must win, and I think they go get it done. I'm all over the Seahawks this week.
Me too. This was actually a gambling pick of mine. I like the Seahawks to bounce back. I think they're the better team, and the Rams don't have the offensive firepower, I think, to do what the Bills did to them. And I think to beat Seattle, you're going to have to score.
Yes.
And I don't think the Rams can do that. I think they will score. They're not going to shut them down. The Seahawks defense isn't shutting anybody down. They won't score enough. They won't score as often. That's the problem.
Yep. I tend to agree with you. 49ers at the Saints. This line has gone bananas. I mean, just absolutely bananas. It opened at, 7? Is that right?
Yep.
Opened at 7. It's up to 9, 10 in some spots, 9.5. Because it's all over the board between 10 and 9, I've got it at 9.5 for us. The Saints, after just a demolition of the Bucs, I wonder how much they are up for this game. Like, I know that they had a massive, it was a 2-point loss to the 49ers at home last year, 48-46. Like, that kind of felt like game of the year type of stuff last year. But I kind of lean San Francisco, even with all the injuries, even with all that mess. San Francisco got blasted by the Packers, and then the Saints go out and they blast the Bucs. And I kind of feel like it comes back towards the middle. Like, there had to be a reason why this was a 7-point line. Like, I could see the Saints winning by a touchdown and never really feeling threatened.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I feel like if you take the Saints and you lose, you think, oh, well, I bet on the better team and I lost. It happens. It's gambling.
Yeah.
If you take the 49ers and you lose, you just feel like, what an idiot. I should have known better. Like, this team's
that's how we felt last week.
But the problem, same thing. But the problem is I kind of still like the San Francisco. I know they don't have the talent on the field. I know they don't. But I just feel like, man, at some point in time, they'll be able to scheme stuff up. It's the NFL. Teams have been yo-yos all year long. I mean, it's only fitting that the Saints come off of molly-whopping that they put on the Bucs and turn around and kind of lay an egg and, maybe scrape by. And then also, the 49ers getting destroyed the way they did, showing up and threatening to beat somebody that they have no business being in the game with.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's the NFL 2020 all day long.
I mean, it's Steelers Cowboys. It's it's all that. So, but Casey jumped in. He said Saints cover, and he misspelled it, and he said Covey, and then he came back in. And he said Saints cover. So, hey, they very well could. They could be hitting their stride right now,
no doubt.
But I do feel like that might just be a few too many points, and I'm going to roll with the 49ers. And
I'll roll with the house because right now it's 90-something%, and in the NFL you just don't have 90% of action go one way ever.
Yep.
And I'll roll with the house.
I like your thinking. Next up, I've got the Bengals at the Steelers. Steelers -8. Now, let's see. Just so we're clear, that means you owe someone. He said $81 million on IR for the Niners. Crazy. Yes, it's pretty insane. It's definitely nuts. I mean, I'm not, I understand all the injuries. I get all that. But also know that all these guys that are still playing for them are professionals. Like, they were all good enough to make the NFL. So
they're barely professionals. Listen, this is one of those things where if you take the Saints, you feel better about yourself if you lose. If you bet the 49ers, you feel like a moron. So just do what you want to do. The information and advice is free.
Ryan Kennedy jumps in. He said Pitt Cincy over. The total is 47 and a half there. You can find a 46 and a half out there if you want to. There's 88% of the tickets on the Bengals. It's gone from 11 and a half opening down to 8, 7 and a half. I had it at 8 on here, but I think we'll do 7 and a half because it just keeps moving down. And I got to tell you,
there's not a single 7.5 on the board, and you're just going to do it because the line's moving that way?
No. There's Bet Online is 7.5, GT Bet 7.5.
Oh, okay, all right, it's moved. It's moved. Okay, 7.5 is fine.
Yeah,
7.5 is fine. It was almost all 8 across the board when I paid this pick about 3.5 hours ago.
That's exactly what I did. But it's moving
3:30, whatever time that was.
That's one of my gambling picks. So I was rolling with the Bengals because the Steelers don't beat anybody by more than a touchdown. Really, it feels like so. Zamora said, when you guys bet, do you guys bet parlays? Do you do less cash, more team parlay, or less team parlay and more cash? I tend not to do parlays in the NFL because you are going to lose more times than not. Like I don't feel as good about any of the NFL stuff because anything can happen, like any given week. So I tend not to bet parlays. If I do anything, sometimes I will do like teasers, maybe, but typically in the NFL. Man, I'm just making straight picks. Like, that's it.
I will tell a story. I had somebody ask me on Twitter today how I felt about parlays and stuff. So I play them because I think they're fun. Okay, it's fine.
Do you still do Moneyline round robins?
No, I haven't done that in a long time. Which I would have made a lot of money the last couple of weeks.
Early in the season, they pay out better.
But anyway, neither here nor there. I bet a lot of things because I think it's fun. Okay, I think betting is a very personal thing. Do whatever you want that you think is fun. But now, if you're actually trying to make money, if you're trying to do this and capitalize on your winnings, I would. So I have family members. Okay, a family member that was in the betting game who was a bookie. All right, this was way back in the day, long time ago before I was born. Okay, and he told me a story when I first started betting. I was asking his opinion about a parlay, and he said, I'm going to tell you a story about parlays. He said, I once had a phone call at 2 a.m. on a Friday night, Saturday morning, of a guy calling to make a bet. And I answered the phone, and I proceeded to cuss him out for calling me so damn early when he could call me tomorrow and make this damn pick because the line ain't moving between now and then. Because back then, you didn't have 24-hour gambling. You didn't have the internet where you could just bet on all this stuff. You had to wait until your bookie woke up.
Yep.
All right. And the guy said, oh, I'm sorry. He said, I just had a couple of parlays I wanted to play, and I wanted to get them in before I went to bed and passed out because dude been drinking all night. And he said, "Oh, okay, you want to make some parlays? Let me get up and get my pen. Let me get my pen real quick." And he said, I immediately stopped cussing the guy out, and I immediately got up, got my pen and paper. I'm telling you, they are so much in the favor of the house.
It's not even sucker bets.
His response to me after that, pretty crash, okay, pretty rough story, but Chris, I'd get out of some good pussy to write a parlay bet if I had to.
It's the truth. It's 100%. Well, because the payout odds are so much less than what the odds of actually hitting it are. Yep. Right? Like getting those games exactly right.
They're just a big house edge. They just are. They're a big house edge. And that's fine. If you like to play, I still play them and I think they're fun.
Yes.
I basically try to pair up 2 or 3 teams that I like. And I'll never do more than a 3-team parlay ever in my life. I just won't. It'll either be a 2 or a 3 teamer. And that's it. But I'm just telling you, if you want to try to do this for a living and make cash, which I don't do, so take that for whatever it's worth, then you might want to walk away from the parlays or ease up on them. You want to do them for fun? Do whatever the hell you want. It's fun. So that's my advice on parlays.
Casey jumps in with a valid point. He said bookies love parlays, but they get cracked sometimes. 100%. You're going to hit them every now and then.
It's not that you can never hit them. It's just anything you do over and over and over again, you're eventually going to lose. When I roll dice, I bet the hard ways because they're fun, but the odds are the fact that they're not going to hit.
Yeah. Casey said, if you're going to do parlays, do money line and either do 5 or 6 favorites or 2 underdogs.
Do not play the favorites ever in the pro football. Never, ever bet money line parlays favorites because you can't bet enough of them to make the money worth it. Favorites get busted in the NFL all day long. Now you can do whatever you want. I am never going to bet that much chalk. I feel sick even talking about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. It feels weird. So we haven't even talked about this Bengals-Steelers game.
Let's get into it.
So Burrow is a covering machine.
Yep.
The Steelers, big come-from-behind win against the Cowboys last week. It just would have been completely embarrassing, and it was kind of embarrassing anyway.
They should be embarrassed.
You've got... what's our look-ahead spots here? The Bengals have nothing to look ahead to. No. Who do the Steelers have next week?
Nobody either.
So, no. Well, they got the Jags next week. All right, so we don't have a look-ahead spot. All right, so in this spot, though, I just don't think that the Steelers ever beat anybody by more than a touchdown. Like at 5 one-possession games this year, I'm going to roll Cincinnati because I think that they can keep this thing at least relatively close. And I'm not going to touch the over because I do still like the Steelers' defense. So I do trust Joe Burrow to be able to score points, but how many points is the question. I think he scores enough to keep it within, 8, but I don't know, man. I'm rolling Bengals here.
Yeah, I'm rolling Bengals too. I'm going to tell you this. Nobody goes undefeated in the NFL. Okay?
Yep.
Nobody goes undefeated in the NFL. It just don't happen. Early in the year, everyone was telling me how the Chiefs were going to go undefeated. And I literally said, they're not just going to lose. They're going to lose to a team they're big favorites in because they're going to be big favorites against a lot of people, and somebody's going to jump up and bite them.
Yeah.
Okay?
It could have happened to them last week.
They were a double-digit favorite against the Raiders, and the Raiders jumped up and bit their ass, and nobody would have picked that.
No, it's same thing last week. The Panthers were 10.5-point underdogs.
That's right. 10.5-point, double digit again, and they almost got their ass picked again. This is going to happen. The Steelers were 14.5-point favorite against the Cowboys, and they had to have everybody in the league throwing flags at them to get them to the end zone. They could not score on the worst defense in the NFL.
Yep.
Okay? I'm just telling you, this Bengals defense is not good. But I think they're better than the Cowboys. And if you can't score without help against the Cowboys, you're going to have a hard time scoring against this Bengals defense. So
I would recommend this, by the way, on this. I think that if you wait around a little bit and you wait for Big Ben to get off of the COVID reserve list, I think this line goes back up. So I think if you want to take the Bengals, you can get even more point value because I think that's the reason that this thing is going down right now is because of the COVID-19 reserve list. So Zamora said, wondering if Big Ben is 100% or not. I mean, who knows?
Well, no, he's not going to be 100%.
Like,
Whatever happened to his knee,
Yeah.
happened to his knee, and it's real, and it's not going away.
Yeah, I just, like, I'm all over the Bengals here. Like, this is the perfect spot.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm trying to find the line. I can't even find the damn line.
Which line?
The money line.
Good question. So, money line for...
Got it.
You got it? Go ahead.
Nope, I don't have it. Shit, why are they not giving me the money line?
Hold on. Pittsburgh and Seattle, plus 280, plus 290, plus 270 for the Bengals.
Yep.
So
that's it.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you this. I will have money on this money line for the Bengals. At some point in time, the Steelers are going to lose a game, and they're going to drop it to somebody that we're not expecting them to drop one to. They just are.
Yeah.
And if I think it's either going to be one of the next two games, because that's just kind of how the thing lays out, I would think it's the Bengals over the Jags. It's a divisional game. They know each other well enough. That's just part of it.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, nobody goes undefeated in the NFL. The Steelers' schedule is pretty easy for the next 8 games that they have to play. I would bet that they're more apt to lose 4 of them than to win 6 of them, and they'll be favored in all of them.
Yes,
so
they'll
be favored all of them. I think they may have the Chiefs. No, I don't think they play Chiefs. They'll be favored in all 8 games that they have remaining on their schedule. I think they will lose half of those more than they will win 6 of them.
I don't know if they're. I mean, we'll see if they have not lost by the time they get to Buffalo here in about 5 weeks. Then if they haven't lost, they might be favorites there. But
if they haven't lost, they'll be favorites.
Yeah,
they'll be favorites because the betting market will demand it.
But if they have lost a game, whether it's to the Ravens in 3 weeks or whatever, I would imagine that the Bills will be favored in that spot.
No, because we don't know that the Bills won't have 2 or 3 losses by then. Between now and then,
you got a valid.
The
point
Bills
there.
lose 2 more games between that game. They won't be. You're assuming they're going to run the table.
That's okay. That's true. Casey said, "Hell no, the Steelers lose to either the Ravens or the Browns."
The Steelers aren't losing to the Browns because they can stop the run. If you stop the run, you can stop the Browns completely. The Browns have no second option outside of running the football. And in today's football, you can't just be one-dimensional running the ball. You can be one-dimensional throwing the ball. I saw 9 teams win football games Sunday that had less than 100 yards rushing. Okay. Yes. Some of them had less than 50 yards rushing. Never seen that before in my life. But all of them could throw the ball. You just can't be built the way the Browns are built right now and win football games. They don't have a quarterback that can lead them in Baker Mayfield.
Let's move into the Sunday night game.
Come on.
Ravens at the Patriots, 7.5 is the line right now. In favor of the Ravens, of course. I don't know what to make of this. The Patriots have just looked like complete and total garbage. They were right there with the Bills, right there with them a couple of weeks ago. They look like hot garbage against the Jets. Is that just because it was the Jets and they just didn't care? Hey, this thing is down to 7 again.
Yep.
At most spots. So that's gone down a little bit since I last looked at it. So we'll just say 7 then. We'll say Pats plus 7. I think teams with good defenses understand how to stop Lamar Jackson. Right now, the Ravens have caught on to this because Pro Football Talk, ESPN brought this up, and it may have been from somewhere else, but Lamar said today that defenses have been calling out the Ravens' offensive plays, like they know exactly what they are going to run before they even run them. I do wonder. Yeah, Lamar Jackson said the Ravens are too predictable on offense. So do they fix that? That was from the Rich Eisen show today. Are they able to fix that? Or do they just have to keep rolling with what they got for now? And if that happens, if the Patriots know exactly what the Ravens are going to do, are they good enough to slow down this Ravens offense and keep it within a touchdown?
Gary, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the Patriots can't score.
All right, so I was going to roll Ravens just because I think that they are just the significantly better
football team. If the Ravens get 12 points, they're going to win this thing by 12.
Here's the issue that I've got.
If they get 4 field goals, they're going to win by 12.
McKinnon said, the base of football is still run the ball, stop the run. However, I truly believe by the time my son's old enough to be playing football, high school end up will be pass the ball, stop the pass, with running and run defense being in addition to the game, not the base.
You didn't watch football Sunday then?
Yes, it is all 100%
They're a
passing.
team, but the Vikings ran the ball.
I'm going to roll Ravens, and I feel dirty about it because 97% of the bets are on the Ravens.
Yep, I know. It looks and the line's going down, which is weird. But I would love to believe that Bill Belichick is magic, but he's not. He's just a dude, okay? He's just a man. He's really smart, but he doesn't have any talent. They're inept at talent at so many positions. If they are going to score and keep it close with the Ravens, even if they shut Lamar down, they turn the football over to one of the teams that gets more turnovers than any team in the league, the Ravens. Lamar doesn't have to be that good. If he gets one touchdown and they get in field goal range 3 times, this thing is over. They couldn't score against the Jets.
Well,
they could not score.
Well, I mean, they put up 30, that's still a pretty sizable number of points, but you're not going to be able to do that against the Ravens. Especially Zamora brings up Marlon Humphrey coming back. Yeah, we saw that news from earlier today.
Joe Flacco throwing dimes against this team to dudes that are not dudes. I just don't know what to do. I love the Pats.
Terry,
not going to change that, but they're not good.
Terry said, "What about your boy Cam? He's talent."
He's not. He's not talent. He's not good. He's just not good. He's worth every bit of the $1 million he's being paid.
Yeah, that's about it.
People thought we stole him. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We paid market value for a quarterback. He's the cheapest quarterback in the league right now that's starting, and we have the worst quarterback in the league.
McKinnon said, "I still think every team wants to run the ball this year, but with so many linemen and running backs out this year, I can't see it yet." No. That's
outside of the Vikings and the Browns, nobody else wants to run it.
You have to be able to throw the football if you want to be able to win. That's just the way it goes.
The Browns are a great example of that. The Vikings are a great example of that. You put the ball in both those quarterbacks' hands, and they lose. You shut down the run, they lose 100% of the time.
Yes. Hey, this is a good time for us to get into Monday Night Football. You're taking Ravens, right?
Yes.
All right. Vikings at the Bears. Bears are a 2.5-point underdog. They have lost several straight. Not looking good so far. Had to fight and claw just to get back within 7 of the Titans last week. But the Titans dominated that football game. Just dominated. I will tell you this. I'm siding with the Bears this week. This is a team that can stop the run.
Yep.
And I don't trust the Vikings to be able to throw the football.
No, I completely agree with that. I just completely agree with that. The Bears are going to say, Kirk, beat us, because they do have a defense well enough to slow down Cook.
Yeah.
Beat us.
Yep. And I don't think that they can. I don't think Kirk Cousins can do it.
So, no. Put the ball in his hand? No, sir.
Yep. You are
not going to do it.
Let's move into our NFL Week 10 official gambling picks. We'll go, not snake draft, but we'll snake it. I will start us off. We each do 5 picks every week for the NFL, and my first gambling pick, Jags at the Packers. Give me the Packers minus 13. I think they are going to roll this Jaguars team. I think the Packers have got things back rolling again. They're getting ready to start feeling good about themselves, start getting back into a few more division games and whatnot. Jags are the perfect warm-up. I think they're going to smoke these dudes. So, give me the Pack.
I'm going to take the Titans as a pick 'em now against the Colts. I think the Colts' reign over this Titans team is over. I believe that they are the better football team. I believe they have the better quarterback, and I think that they do enough things on defense to cause Phillip Rivers problems without having to put pressure on him.
Yep.
Give me the Titans.
I like that pick. I was too scared of it because of everything that's happened in the past, but I'm glad you took it. I'm rolling Bengals plus 8 at the Steelers. Again, Steelers don't beat anybody by more than a touchdown, if they even do that. At most, I think the Steelers win by like a field goal here, maybe a touchdown if it's defensive. But I think Burrow is pretty smart with the football. I'm rolling Bengals here. I think they got a chance to win this football game.
Nope. Bengals plus 8's the play. I think the Bengals can win the game.
Third pick. I'm taking Seahawks. Seahawks plus 2 at the Rams. I think they win this game outright. I think they're the better football team. I think Russell Wilson gets right here. I understand everybody's terrified of Aaron Darnold. I get it, right? Everybody understands that. Aaron Donald, not Sam Darnold. But you get the point. I do think the Seahawks do enough on offense to be able to put up enough points that they are going to win this football game. Defense, still got to get right, all the good stuff. If you're going to get right, I think the quarterback to do it against would be Jared Goff. Like, I understand he's looked good in some games, but I think the Seahawks do enough to be able to pull out this win.
Give me the Sea Chickens +2. Aaron Darnold cannot cover DK, cannot cover Lockett. Nothing he can do about it. Sorry.
You got it. I'm rolling Dolphins -2.5, and I know the whole world is on the Dolphins right now, but I do think that they are the better football team here. They are the team that is still in the playoff race. I think that they find a way to get this thing done. Tua got in his groove last week. I think he'll do the same thing this week. I like their offensive line here, even with Ingram and Bosa playing. I think that they do enough to slow those guys down to allow Tua to get the ball out of his hands. He's got a quick release, man. He's super fast getting that thing out, and I think that helps him a lot in this situation.
Bounce back game for Tampa Bay. Give me the Bucks -5 at the Panthers. I think they're going to bounce back. I think they're going to win the game. I think they're going to win it handily. And it took an colossal collapse for them to get beat the way they got beat by the Saints. I like this Panthers team. Don't get me wrong. Not a knock on them at all. This ain't the Saints, though. They don't have the talent the Saints do. Give me the Bucks.
I like your thinking there. Last game for me, Monday Night Football. I'm going Chicago. I can get a 3 out there right now. Give me the Bears +3 at home. I think they can win this game. I think they slow down Dalvin Cook. And when you slow down Dalvin Cook, that is the security blanket. That is the offense. If you slow him down, all of a sudden Kirk Cousins has all the pressure on him. I don't think he can get it done against this Bears defense. You're going to see at least one defensive touchdown from the Bears, and I think more. I called my spot last year in this game. Eddie Jackson gets an interception return touchdown. I think this is the spot for him, and I know that's crazy, but whatever that prop bet is, I'm going to go find it. It's probably +1,000, plus whatever. But I think that that's what ends up happening. I think the Bears defense is good enough to win this football game, and I think they will.
There you go. My last game, look, I've shit on them for the last couple of weeks. They've deserved every bit of that shit, by the way. But give me my Browns -3. Listen, when they can run the football, they can dominate teams, not just beat them, dominate them. There's no reason they won't be able to run all over the Houston Texans. Texans are a bad football team. They just are.
Texas can't stop the run.
This is why this is the spot where you take the Browns. If you can stop the runs, you get as far away from the Browns as possible. If you can't stop the run, you play the Browns because they are going to run it down your throat forever. I think the Browns and the Vikings are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Someone said Mayfield's out of COVID. I wish he wasn't. Okay.
Yeah, but
I wish he wasn't. I want one full week. All I want is one full week of Case to be able to practice with the ones, game plan around him. And I just want to see, can we throw the football then? That's all I want. I want 1 week of practice with Case running the offense to build it around him to see, can he be better than Baker? Because Baker's bad. Flat ass bad.
Browns win easy. Hail Kareem Hunt, said Casey K.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So I like all your picks this week. I like all my picks this week. I think we're going 10-0. I feel good about it.
Well, last week we both went 4-1.
Yeah, we went 4-1 each last week. So
that's pretty damn strong.
Moving in the right direction. Ryan Kennedy said Chubb might be back. Even if he's not, doesn't matter.
I don't know that Chubb's coming back this week, but I would love for him to be back. Oh, this is a great defense to get healthy on.
You have got that right, my friend. You've got that right. All right, is there anything else that we need to hit today?
That's it, brother.
Let's get out of here. You guys go check out winningcureseverything.com. Do us that favor. You can subscribe everywhere you need to be subscribed. The live show, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and Facebook. Of course, you can go get the podcast. We do a show on Sundays and Thursdays there, along with all of these the shows that we do live. Those go up immediately after the show. But yeah, we do a Sunday college football recap and a Thursday college football viewing guide to kind of give you an idea of what's coming up that coming weekend. So we will have one out tomorrow, but those are podcast exclusive. We don't do them on the YouTube or whatever else. No videos. And make sense. Zamora said, hit the like. Yeah, hit the like button for us if you're on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Hit that like button. Share the show out. Tell your friends about it. Leave some comments. Let us know what your picks are. Of course, we want to know what games you got this week. what you're rolling with. We would love to hear it. So with that said, go over to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Our articles, I believe, are already up. If not, they'll be up tomorrow morning for our college football picks, all that good stuff. Damian said we're not winning. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's talking with the Bears.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm all over the Bears. Rolling with the Bears this week. Casey said later players. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're getting out of here. Go to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Go to SBR Picks on YouTube. That is where all of our college football content and our picks for the week are found as well. Let's see. What else am I missing? I think that's it. Oh, the Murder Hornet shirts. They're up on the site. winningcureseverything.com. Go to the store. Go check it out. Go buy yourself a shirt, T-shirt. Wear that thing around. Wear it proudly. Show everybody what you got. With that said, you guys take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Let's cash some tickets. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make